Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Adeze Okezie, the live video visibility queen with emotic accent, and you're listening to the Style with Anna podcast, the one and only podcast about the many expressions of style. Find out how our exceptional guests turn their flaws into assets and how they define style from their own and unique perspective. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform and kindly leave a one sentence review. Now, let us join the journey and meet the host, Anna in Style, aka the Style Medium.
Thank you, Daisy, for the lovely introduction. It's always a pleasure hearing your professional accent. Hello, Jane, and welcome to the Style with Anna podcast.
Thank you so much. So delighted to be here with you today and hang out in your space and your community. This is exciting. I just adore you, Anna. I'm so excited to share.
I'm also excited for you to said that you said yes to be on the show with me and to share something about yourself and also about your experience. And we will not reveal this right at the start because there is a question I ask everyone who joins me. And the question is, how would you describe yourself in 3 words? From the top of your head, the first thing that comes to mind.
I would say independent, a bit sophisticated, and wild desert. There's a little bit of wildness in me as well. And that was a little bit more than 3 words, but just a quest for growth and knowledge.
Wow. Well, that's different.
Yeah, sometimes I feel different, but I know there's a whole community of growth quest seekers out there. We want to know the truth, and we want to know the truth about ourselves and exploring what motivates us and dial in a bit of our brand and values so we can have more acceleration. And I find that interesting.
Yeah, you just gave me goosebumps. It's official.
Then we're both in the right space. That's why we love talking to each other.
Absolutely. It's magnetic, don't you see?
Yeah, that is the word, magnetic. And it gives you goosebumps. So there's something in you that is part of your journey too, when you help women get to this place of knowing themselves more. And that's what I really love about you, because your help, it's a high vibe quest in your signature system to get women to be closer to their authenticity, I think.
Thank you very much. How would you describe what you do in one sentence?
What I do is I help women be more visible on video and go after their dreams and their desires to make more money so they can be independent and live a lifestyle and have a business they love.
So it's very similar, the visibility part and making impression, making impact. These are all very crucial things for you, right?
Yes, and it's been part of my journey. And I've been pretty much on the pulse of this maybe in the last 5, 6 years. I made a transition from being a professional photographer, actually, over a decade ago, really. I had a different life, but I was a professional photographer in a beautiful place in Monterey, Carmel, California, overlooking the beautiful Pacific Ocean. And I was in California at the right place at the right time and connecting with the right people for me at the moment. And I had a partner. And all of a sudden it was like from analog film to digital, phase of photography. And all of a sudden I just started working these weddings all over these beautiful locations. I think you can't go wrong too much, Anna, with like nice locations, great light, and people who dressed, really ready for their special day. So I think it made my work look good. I have to say that. So it took a nice journey and ride on doing that. Something that was passionate. I liked fine art. I liked photography, but I wasn't going to be a fine art photographer at the MoMA Museum, even though I had a quest for that. But I was like many people, just, got into weddings and events and photojournalism. And it was a great journey. I studied with a lot of photographers in Las Vegas. We quest out to Vegas every year for a conference. And I loved photography. But I got very burnt out and had a knee injury, actually. And my relationship fell apart. And I just knew I needed a change. I came back east. But I did get to see some amazing places. And I came back east and I just had to ask myself, what's next for me? And that's when I opened up to life coaching and learning more about personal growth and maybe Tony Robbins and yoga and what really would be in like a next act for me. And then I moved into more of empowerment for women and also network marketing in the health and wellness industry, and go to a lot of conferences on that and reinvented myself. And I'm still reinventing myself. So, but I didn't know how to, well, didn't know how to really show up in front of the camera, although I thought I did. So I needed support along the way. How do I do this thing in front of the camera now? What is my brand? What's going to align to me? And then that started me on this whole journey and quest of visibility. And that's a little bit of my backstory, actually. And in that quest of showing up in front of the camera, I just knew other women were doing really well at that. Like I just saw other network marketers and leaders just really crushing it in front of the camera and online. And I said, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. Then let me learn the skills and the strategy to do this. And it took a little bit of time, but I learned how to be more in front of the camera and also work on content. Even now working on scripts and content and making, working the marketing machine, actually working this machine that's a little bit more feminine based. I call it the feminine marketing, right? It's more about relationship building. It's not like the guy bro marketing, like, so it's a different game. So that's why I thought I need to build relationships with women entrepreneurs like yourself, who are skilled in I was already in front of the camera, but now skilled at taking my vibe higher so I can meet higher vibe clients and work with women who are on that quest to reinvent themselves in another way. So I feel like this is an evolution, actually. And I have been fortunate, even through life coaching, to have met so many women who want to be entrepreneurs, want to reinvent themselves and know that we deserve it. We deserve to be standing out and making more money and having the lifestyle we want. So I think presence, the right impression, and dialing that in is such an important, fabulous place to elevate a brand. with heart and soul.
Mm,
That's a bit of a second backstory, but like this is part of the journey. And I felt like when I met you in entrepreneurial uh, giveaway, I just knew I had to meet you. I just said, I really, this woman has, I know she's talking to a higher frequency of showing up in front of the camera in style. And I was struggling a bit with my style, I have to say. I don't know all those things. Needed someone to maybe validate some of my experiences. And that's when we met. And then I did your signature system, your process. And that was a whole nother opening up another beautiful Pandora box, because you're just lovely and awesome. And I haven't met anyone in the style industry like of that of what you provided me in this journey. Like I know I wanted to be more aligned. I wanted it to be more me rather than in a box. So I'm just so delighted you're doing this podcast, because I think it's going to help so many women.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm.
So, what would you say was the point when you said, I really need to step up and try this, what Anna offers?
Yes, because I was hitting a roadblock. I was almost digesting different content online and Instagram of like this look, that look, like, but I felt like I needed somebody to talk to. I needed somebody's perspective. And so I wanted to go a little deeper, and I was at a roadblock. I didn't know what to wear. Like, I didn't know what to bring on my body, or maybe I was struggling also with my body, like it's not just style, it's being in our skin and our bodies. So when you had a beautiful offer of a quiz, I took your quiz, and it gave me some insights into my archetype. And then I was able to have a conversation with you. So I got a little closer to you. And I needed to like unleash, block some of the things that I was struggling with. And one of them is, if you ever work with Anna, you'll know that she's going to be a great listener, and she'll ride the journey with you. But my struggle was body. Am I comfortable in my body? Am I putting on things that suit my body, and feeling comfortable in my skin, and what's complementary, and also kind of influences that feels more cultural to me. It feels more aligned rather than what's dictated in the fashion industry. So when we work together, I realized how much I am frustrated with the fashion industry, that I don't feel like it has women's kind of um, just women's in their minds. Sometimes it's just commerce. Sometimes it's pushing fast fashion. So I started learning a little bit more with you, that conversation of what's sustainable fashion, what's going to align like deeply, a fashion that's not fast fashion, like we're not disposable. This is something that's like something quality over quantity. And that was a healing. That was a huge healing for me, because I wanted to be contributing for something positive in the world and showing up, not, oh, I just want to look good. It's more like I want to be a positive force with what I'm wearing, and also keep it minimal. And there were some big shifts for me about, because we dived in deeper with a capsule like wardrobe, but and not in the way that you'd probably see on Pinterest or anything. It's more like it simplifies the decisions of what I'm going to wear, so I can save those precious resources of my brain and mind, so I can work more on my mission. That's huge. That was huge. that was almost a teary moment for me. I'm like, I'm spinning wheels here. This is not good. So you help me conserve my energy so I can work more smarter and show up so I can serve more women in my network marketing business and in the visibility program. This is going to be like, it's a right big gift for the goddess here. Big gift for women, you know, and myself. So I thank you for
Thank you.
that.
So, you felt more energy after working with me.
I felt relieved, more vibrant energy. The vibrant energy, like I also work with the nutrition and energy, and but I felt like, oh, good. I know what I'm wearing. It's based on my archetype. It's based on me. And now I feel so freed up. Yeah, the energy is way better for me. I can just dazzle my energy, show up, ready to do my videos and content and you know, presentations. And no, I am on spot. Like I am ready in a bigger way. So I received a lot of tremendous energy. You were like the, you know, the almost the intuitive healer, but in style essence. And like you helped me remove blocks. But you allowed me in this journey to experience myself rather than being told, you know, this is for you. This is what you should be wearing. Like you didn't, it wasn't that experience. I hope women get to hear this. You're gonna discover, you know, you hold the space and container for discovering who we really are. And it's a process. You know, change doesn't happen just overnight. Transformation doesn't happen. We all know this. It takes a little time. So I have to anchor it, you know, anchor that change, journal that change, you know, create a book with these changes. That's still the process and that I'm working on now, like an art book, let just with the changes, because that anchors it a bit more. And I know our journey together will continue. So this is why I think it's so important, women, to realize it's a journey when we do visibility, showing up, how we're going to you know, design our look that's authentic, but to know you have a mentor, like Anna in your, you know, in your team, on your team, you know, because there's a lot of elements to where you're going to buy clothes, where you're going to resource things, what other part of your team and your project manager, you know, needs to have somebody like Anna, like you on the team, you know, so we're all on brand and we're marketing in the feminine marketing way. And I just think, you know, it's just beautiful. It's unbelievable. It's where, you know, can help with so much in design and how we're showing up visibly.
Mm. You made me speechless now.
I know. Well, you're soft spoken and you know how important this is for women, but you, yeah, and I learned, you know, we talked about art, we talked about like the what I learned from you, and just I really enjoyed that part of our conversations where I started going down the rabbit hole of art again, like get back to the resource of, oh, I loved art, you know, different Italian style, French styles, you know, the quality type of bloggers out there, not the fast fashion on Instagram or anything. I'm not putting down anything. I'm just saying I got to digest more. I got to go deeper with the philosophy of art and documentary photography, things that I've enjoyed very much. And all this is like part of that exploration. And I wouldn't have been able to maybe do that with somebody else. But with you, you're really versed in those type of conversations. So that opened up, like made me feel very validated that this influences, you know, everything's connected globally about, you know, fabric. You taught me a lot about fabric and you know, quality and different influences culturally. So I really wanted to put that in there because you're going to open up your mind. It can be we even spoke about, it made me even think of doing more documentary films, doing longer blogs, on this process. So we experience ourselves in a deeper way. And I think you gave me the gift of that. Why I did this was because I want to feel whole. I don't want to feel like I'm fast and throwing things out there. I want to feel whole and complete. And I think it's such a great, beautiful quality. It shows up with integrity. We show up with integrity. So you hold that space of having, me show up with integrity. And so it definitely deserves a huge blog, a chapter in my life, a chapter in my book, like during my chapter of my journey of finally landing somewhere where style meets authenticity, meets quality, and showing up dazzling, stellar, knowing what I have and your community. I just want to put in there, I felt a little lonely and lost, sometimes not, being in different groups or learning about brand and style. But now I'm in your community, which is your community. I know has a couple of the name of your Facebook group again is
Um, appearance, attraction, authenticity for high achievers.
uh that like appearance, attraction, authenticity, high achiever, feminine, female entrepreneurs. I'm like, where's the group? What is she posting this week? I want to know. And your posts are just like super cool. They're not just, try this or that. You're like, thought-provoking questions. Would you consider this with this? This is our color of the week. So I feel like I'm in a community, and you're very selective, I think, about who comes in that group.
Mhm.
So it's high quality. So I feel like I'm in a really positive, high vibe community of women. And that made me feel really good. That made me feel really, really positive.
Yes, the curation is really, I mean, I am really strict about who I let in because everyone who joins this group needs to feel special and nurtured and just find their space
Mm.
with their uniqueness.
Oh, that's what I love. That's what I love. I feel like I'm in the pocket of some great movements in here, and I thank you so much, Anna, and I recommend any women who's looking for a journey on style and frequency to work with you. I definitely want to communicate that to as many women as possible. Work with you, go on that journey, and high vibe your life and make more money, be visible. It's going to be super authentic, and you will not regret it at all. Be beautiful.
Oh, that's closing thought, I guess. It sure sounds like it. I don't want to add anything because I will just ruin it.
Thank you. Just awesome.
I
Mm.
want to just touch quickly how I felt when first you came with an aligned outfit and the background. I mean, it was like we meet yesterday and we meet today, and you're like a completely different person with a completely different background in your Zoom meeting and completely different hairstyle and the clothes, everything was so aligned. I was like, oh, speechless. I was like, oh my gosh. And what energy you had. It was okay. Do you remember? You were like, oh, I feel so great. Let me go record a few videos. And you did the photo shoots, everything.
Oh yes, you totally inspired me. It's so true. I did. I had like I jumped right in, had the transformation. You helped me rock it. I felt really ready to go. And there's no time than now. There's no time than now to do the change. And there's only thing good on the other end of all this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Style with Anna podcast. If you like this podcast, tell your friends about it, leave a review, and subscribe. This is your way of supporting us and telling us our efforts are appreciated. I invite you to take the Attraction Style quiz at www.chooseyoursignaturesstyle.com, followed by a 5-day email sequence. You can go on a discovery journey and have a talk with your inner self like never before. If you would like to learn more about my speaker and guests, kindly refer to the links in the show notes. Listen, there is always time for transformation, even after a breakup, divorce, or turning 50. Thank you for listening to the Style with Anna podcast. If you like this podcast, tell your friends about it, leave a review and subscribe. This is your way of supporting us and telling us our efforts are appreciated. I invite you to take the Attraction Style quiz at www.chooseyoursigunaturestyle.com, followed by a 5-day email sequence. You can go on a discovery journey and have a talk with your inner self like never before. If you would like to learn more about my speaker and guests, kindly refer to the links in the show notes. Listen, there is always time for transformation, even after a breakup, divorce, or turning 50.